Morning everyone and welcome to today's webinar, which is National Payroll Week, the quiz. So today we've got some questions in store to test your knowledge on everything we've covered in the session so far for National Payroll Week. Remember, you need to attend this quiz today, as well as 3 other National Payroll Week sessions to earn your digital badge. I'm Sarah and I'm joined by Duncan, who will be back for round 2, but first I'm going to run through some housekeeping. So, as usual, your control panel is going to show on the right-hand side of the screen. The first icon is just letting you know your microphone is muted automatically during the session, so don't worry about any background noise coming from your end. Although it's our turn to ask you the questions, we do still have the Q&A panel. If you have any questions, we will do our best to answer them during the session. We do have some anagrams in store for you today as well. So for answers for those, just pop them into the Q&A, get any guesses in there, and then we'll run through those at the end. We don't have any handouts to download at the moment, but once we're on to our final round, we'll get them uploaded so you can get a good look at the questions and the answers. Although there's no demos, you can still go to full screen if you want a closer look. So we're going to have 4 rounds of 4 questions. They're going to be asked via a poll on your screen. So you can choose the answer down the left-hand side, so select them. There will be some with multiple answers on there as well, but we will let you know which questions those are. You're going to have around 45 seconds to answer each question. So get your answers in and don't forget to click submit as well. We'll then take a look at the anagram so you can get your guesses submitted into the Q&A whilst we run through the answers for that round. So that's a run through of how everything works. Let's get started with round number 1, which will be on Get Your Payroll Done. So question number 1, how would you show the process map in Sage 50 Payroll? That's A, View, Change View, Process Map. B, Company, Settings, then View. C, Change View, then Process Map. Or D, Tools, Change View. So that's how would you show the process map in Sage 50 Payroll. So, question number 2. Which report must be submitted to HMRC on or before your employee's pay date? Is that A, P32, B, Employer Payment Summary, C, Full Payment Submission, or D, Payment Summary? So question number 3. Which of the following tasks should be completed before processing payroll in Sage 50 Payroll? Now this one is multiple choice, so you can select multiple answers for this one. So that's A, add new starters. B, enter any statutory absences. C, process leavers. D, check the IR secure mailbox. So that's which of the following tasks should be completed before processing payroll in Sage 50 Payroll. Looks like most people are getting the answers in for that one. Let's get on to the last question, so question number 4. The final question of this round. When should you submit an employer payment summary, also known as the APS? That's when should you submit an employer payment summary? So A, after each FPS, B, at the end of tax year, C, at the end of the tax month, if you're reclaiming any statutory payments, D, if you have any leavers. Great, so it looks like most people have got their answers in. Let's take a little look at the anagram for this round. So make sure to get your answers in the Q&A for this one. So the anagram is C, postcard. We'll have give you a little clue as well. So that is set me first. So get any guesses you might have popped in the Q&A and we'll return to that at the end of this round once we've ran through the answers. So, question number 1. How would you show the process map in Sage 50 Payroll? Let's take a little look and see what everyone thought. So it looks like most people went for answer A. I have got some people going for C and D as well, but it looks like the correct answer for this one was A, view, change view, and then process map. I know some people went for C. It is a bit of a sneaky question, this one. So it did used to be change view and process map in previous versions of Sage 50 Payroll, but that has been updated and changed in the most current version. So let's take a look at question number 2. Which report must be submitted to HMRC on or before your employee's pay date? Let's see what people thought. So most people have went for number C, for letter C, sorry, that is full payment submission. A couple of people thought P32 or APS as well, but let's take a look and see what the correct answer is. So correct answer for question 2 is full payment submission. If you do submit this late, remember you do need to select a late reason to inform HMRC as well. We'll move on to question number 3. Which of the following tasks should be completed before processing payroll in Sage 50 Payroll? Let's have a look and see what people thought. Oh, so it looks like we've got a bit of a mixed bag in this one. So it is multiple answers for this one. So majority of people have said add new starters, enter statutory absences, and IR secure mailbox. We do have 33% for process leavers as well. But let's take a little look and see what the correct answers are for this one. So correct answers for question number 3. So there's 3 correct answers. So add new starters and any statutory absences and check in the mailbox. So it looks like most people got that right. Remember, if you do still get your tax code notices through the post, you can enable the mailbox if you haven't already by flagging it on HMRC. So let's move on to the final question of the round. So question number 4. When should you submit an employer payment summary? Let's see what people thought. So it looks like majority of people have went for C, end of the tax month if reclaiming statutory payments. Let's take a look and see what the correct answer is. So that is right. So it looks like most of you got that one right. So you can also send an APS if you've got apprenticeship levy, any CIS deductions, or if you're not paying anyone at all that period. Great, so that's it for the questions for this round. Let's take a little look and see who has guessed the anagram. So the anagram was C postcard, and the clue was set me first. And the correct answer for the anagram was process date. It looks like quite a few of you got that right. Looks like Debbie, you got that right first, so well done for that. What we'll do now is we'll move on to round number 2, and Duncan will take you through round number 2 on starters and levers.
Thank you, Sarah. So round number 2 is all around the starters and levers webinar, and we will get straight on to question number 5 of our quiz, which is on screen now. So question 5, which of the following forms can be used when adding a new starter in Sage 50 Payroll? And for this one, you should select all that apply. Is it P45, P11D, starter checklist, or P60? And we will move on to question number 6. So question 6 is, what tax code should you use for a new starter who selects statement B on the starter checklist? Is it 1257L, Is it 1257L on a week 1, month 1 basis? Is it BR or is it 0T? Great, and we'll move on to question 7. So another multi-select question. Which of the following should be considered when processing a leaver's final payment? So select all that apply for this one. Do you need to consider outstanding payments, for example, holiday pay, statutory parental payments, the employee's next employment start date, or whether the employee is a director? And we will now move on to the last question of this round, question number 8. At what point in the payroll process should you run the leaver wizard? Is that after update records, before submitting the FPS? Is the answer after enter payments, but before update records? Do you do it after submitting the FPS? Or do you do it at the start of the pay run? So at what point in the process should you run the leaver wizard? So that's it for round 2. But before we go through the answers, I do have another anagram round for you. So your anagram for round 2 is tasted art. That's tasted art. And the clue for this one is welcome on board. So pop your answers in the Q&A and we'll shout out the first correct answer once we reveal the answer to the anagram, after we look at the answers to the questions in round 2. So let's go through the answers. Question 5, which of the following can be used when adding a new starter in Sage 50 Payroll? Let's take a look at what you said. So we had 2 very popular answers here, popular P45 and starter checklist. That's answers A and C. Let's take a look to see if you were right with those answers. And of course you were. They are the 2 main forms that you would use for a new starter. The starter checklist replaced the old P46. And the other forms, the P11D and P60, are annual forms. So P11D is for expenses and benefits, and the P60 is what your employees get at the end of the year, showing a summary of their pay and deductions. So well done if you got that right. Question 6 was what tax code should be used for a new starter selecting statement B. So let's see what you said to that one. So we've got the majority going for answer B, which was 1257L on a week 1, month 1 basis. 16% going for answer A, which was 1257L. Let's have a look at the correct answer. And for statement B, it is answer B, 1257L on a week 1, month 1 basis. So that statement is, since the 6th of April, I've had another job, but don't have a P45, and or since the 6th of April, I've received payments from job seekers allowance, employment and support allowance, or incapacity benefit. And the reason it's on a week 1, month 1 basis is that we don't have the full details of previous taxable income. So on a week 1, month 1 basis, the tax is worked out per period rather than on the earnings in the year to date. Question 7 was which of the following should be considered when processing a leaver's final payment? So let's see what you thought on this one. So again, some good answers here, 94% outstanding payments. And then we've got statutory parental payments and whether the employee is a director. So let's check to see if you're right with that one. And you were spot on. So A, B, and D are the correct answers for that question. The next employment start date is irrelevant. You don't need to know that. The new employer will take the details from your P45 when they set up the new employment record. And the last question of this round, at what point in the payroll process should you run the lever wizard? So let's see what you said for this one. 81% of you going for answer A, after update records, before submitting the FPS. We've got some of you going for answer B, so before update records. Let's see which one was right. And the correct answer here is after update records, but before submitting the FPS. Now, quick tip for you, if you're ever unsure in what order you should be doing things when you process payroll, the handy process map, which you can switch on from the view menu, change view, and then process map will help you out. That includes when to process levers, which is after update records, but before the FPS. So well done to anyone that got 4 out of 4 in that round. Before we go back to Sarah, we have our anagram round. So the clue here was the anagram was tasted art, and the clue, welcome aboard, welcome on board. Correct answer to that one was, of course, start date. And our fastest correct answer for that round was Lisa. So well done, Lisa, for getting there first. So now on to round 3, and I'm going to hand you back to Sarah.
Hi everyone, so round 3 is all about sickness and maternity. Let's take a look at question number 9. So question number 9, what is the current weekly rate of statutory sick pay for the 2025-26 tax year? So what is the current weekly rate of statutory sick pay for the 2025-26 tax year? So is that A, £125, B, £118.75, C, £187.18, or D, £116.75. So what is the current weekly rate of statutory sick pay for the 2025-26 tax year? So question number 10. Which of the following is not a qualifying condition for receiving SSP? So is that A, employee must have an employment contract, B, employee must earn at least £125 per week, or C, employee must be sick for 2 or more days in a row? Brilliant. So it looks like most people have got their answers in. Let's move on to question 11. So question 11. How many weeks of statutory maternity pay are paid at the higher rate of 90% of the average weekly earnings? So is that A, 6 weeks, B, 39 weeks, C, 15 weeks, or D, 26 weeks? Like most people are getting the answers in. So we'll move on to the final question of this round. So question number 12. What percentage of SMP can employers reclaim if they qualify for small employers relief in the 2025-26 tax year? Is that A, 92%, B, 90%, C, 108.5%, or D, 103%? I'm going to close that down now. So the anagram for this round, that is dinghy awaits. That's dinghy awaits. And the clue for that one is there are 3 of them. So make sure to get your guesses popped in the Q&A, get any answers popped in there. We'll run through the answers and then we'll see who got that the fastest at the end. Great, so let's take a little look at the answers. So question 9 was, what is the current weekly rate of statutory sick pay for the 2025-26 tax year. Let's have a little look and see what people thought. So definitely got a majority there for answer B, £118.75. Few people thought C and D, but let's take a little look at what the correct answer was. So the correct answer for question 9 was indeed B, so that's £118.75. Was actually the rate in the previous tax year was D, the £116.75. So well done, a lot of you did get that right. So let's take a look at question 10. So that's which of the following is not a qualifying condition for receiving SSP. Let's see what people thought. Again, we've definitely got a majority for this one. So a lot of you thought C, employee must be sick for 2 or more days in a row. Couple of people thought A and B, but let's take a little look, see what the correct answer is. The correct answer was in fact C. So it is actually 4 consecutive days in a row that the employee needs to be off sick to qualify, not 2. So a lot of you got that right, well done. Let's take a look at question 11. So that was, how many weeks of statutory maternity pay are paid at the higher rate of 90% of the average weekly earnings? Let's see what everyone thought. So most people thought that was A, 6 weeks. A few people thought C and D, but let's take a little look and see what the correct answer is. So again, a lot of you has got that right. That is in fact A, so 6 weeks at the higher rate. And that's worked out based on the set period, which is 8 weeks before the qualifying week. So let's take a little look at the final question of this round. So question 12. What percentage of SMP can small employers reclaim if they qualify for small employers relief in the 25-26 tax year? Let's see what everyone thought. So 62% has went for C, 108.5%. Got a few people looking at D, and a few for A and B as well. Let's take a look and see what the correct answer is. So the correct answer for question 12 was C, so that's 108.5%. Now, if you're not sure if you qualify for small employers relief, it is if your total class 1 NIC contributions were 45,000 or less in the tax year before the employee's going on the statutory parental payment. Great, so that's it for the questions for this round. Let's take a little look at the anagram. So anagram was dinghy awaits, and the clue was there are 3 of them. And the answer for that is, of course, waiting days. So yeah, employee has to serve 3 of them before being paid SSP. Obviously, that might be a thing of the past if new legislation does come in, but let's see who got that first. So it looks like Claire got that first. Well done for that, Claire. I'll pass you back over to Duncan now to take you through the final round.
Thanks again, Sarah. So this is the final round of the quiz, round 4, which is all about our pensions and the pensions module webinar, which we ran just yesterday. So we will get started with question number 13 of our quiz, on screen now. And that one is, what is the worker category for someone aged 25 earning £11,000 annually? Are they classed as an entitled worker? Are they a non-eligible job holder? Are they an eligible job holder? Or are they classed as a deferred member? And move on to question number 14. Question 14, in a relief at source tax relief arrangement, how is the employee's contribution affected? Is the answer A, it's deducted before tax at the full contribution rate? Is it B, it's reduced by 20% and deducted after tax? Or is it C? It's increased by 20% and deducted before tax. And we'll just close that one down so we can move on to question 15. So this one's 15. Which of the following tasks can be completed using the Sage 50 Payroll Pensions module? So can you use it to assess employees for pension eligibility? Would you use it to show the pension contribution on the payslip? Or can it be used to send pension correspondence, such as enrolment letters? Last few seconds on this one before we move on to our final question of the quiz. So question number 16. So what are the minimum gross weekly earnings? So weekly earnings required to trigger automatic enrolment. So is that £120 per week? Is it £192 per week? Or is it £833? Last few seconds for question 16 then. And we'll get that one closed down. So that is the final question of the quiz. Before we go through the answers though, let's have a look at our anagram round for round 4. So again, answers in the Q&A. The anagram is stopped on, and the clue here is hitting pause. So stopped on, the clue is hitting pause. Once you know what that is, drop it in the Q&A and we will announce the fastest correct answer after we've been through the answers to these questions. So question 13 then was, what was the worker category for someone aged 25 earning £11,000 annually? Let's take a look at what you said. So a little bit of a split here. 66% of you are saying C, eligible job holder. We've got 21% saying entitled worker and 13% with non-eligible job holder. So let's see which of those answers was correct. It was answer C. It's eligible job holder. So an eligible job holder is an employee who is aged 22 to state pension age. They work in the UK and their earnings are above the earnings trigger, which is the equivalent of £10,000 per year. And those are the employees who need to be automatically enrolled into a pension scheme. Question 14 then, in a relief at source pension arrangement, how's the employee's contribution affected? Let's see what you thought on this one. So again, a bit of a split. The majority of you are going for answer B. The contribution is reduced by 20% and deducted after tax. Also got 32% of you saying answer A is deducted before tax at the full contribution rate. So let's have a look at the correct answer. So for this one, it is answer B. So the employee's pension contribution is reduced by 20%, which is the basic rate of tax, and then it is deducted after tax, because relief at source means that it is deducted after tax, but the tax relief is then claimed back by the pension provider directly from HMRC at the basic rate of 20%. So that's the reason why the contribution is adjusted, because the tax relief is being claimed back from HMRC. So answer A, where it's deducted before tax at the full contribution rate, is for pension schemes that use the net pay tax relief arrangement, which can sound somewhat confusing terminology, but B was the correct answer there. On to question 15, which of the following tasks can be completed using the pensions module? Let's have a look at what you said. So the two most popular answers there were to assess employees for pension eligibility and to send pension correspondence, such as enrolment letters. So let's check the correct answer, or answers in this case. So it was answers A and C. So the pensions module is designed to reduce the admin burden of automatic enrolment, and it includes options for pension assessment, sending pension data to pension providers, and sending pension correspondence to your employees. You don't need the pensions module in order to show a pension contribution on the payslip. That's built in as part of just the usual functionality of payroll. It's the pensions module that helps you specifically with the auto enrolment duties. And question 16, what are the gross weekly earnings or minimum gross weekly earnings required to trigger automatic enrolment? And the answers received for this one, 64% saying £192, 35% are saying £120, 2% saying 833. Let's check out the correct answer here. And it is £192. So the earnings trigger per year is £10,000. So the weekly equivalent to that is 192. The 833 is the monthly earnings trigger, but it's all based around that £10,000 annual amount. So well done if you got that one right, and well done to anyone that's got 16 out of 16 in our quiz. We just have the anagram round to have a look at for round 4. So the anagram here was stopped on, and the clue for this one was hitting pause. And let's have a look at the answer there. It was, of course, postponed. So well done to loads of you that got that one right. And the fastest correct answer was Kerry Rose. So well done, Kerry Rose, for getting the anagram in the fastest time. And that brings us to the end of the quiz. So what we'd like to do before we say goodbye is just to tell you a little bit more about some of the further support that's available to you, and in particular, how you can earn your digital badge for joining us at this series of National Payroll Week webinars. So you're currently attending the quiz, which is the mandatory session in order to qualify for the badge, but you will also need to attend at least 3 of the other 4 sessions live to earn your digital badge that we'll be sending you through towards the end of this month. Now, the good news is if you miss the sessions this week, we are repeating them next week as well. So if you haven't done your 3 out of the 4, or if there's a session you'd like to come to again, feel free to sign up, which you can do so at sage.co.uk/webinars. And for those that qualify for the badge, you'll receive an email explaining how to retrieve your badge from the Accredible portal. And as I say, we'll be sending those out towards the end of this month. You can also get further help from our online help centre at sage.co.uk/help. From there, you can view all of our knowledge base articles, you can read the support guides, and you also find contact details for our technical support team. So choose the topic you need help with and find the Get in Touch link. And if you are keen to improve your payroll knowledge, we have a range of e-learning, certification and bite-sized learning available at Sage University. You can access that at sageu.com. So we will stick around in the webinar just for a few more minutes in case there's any general questions that you'd like to ask us. The handout is now available, so Sarah's got that uploaded with all of the answers to today's questions. Just saw a few comments about question 15, not letting you select multiple answers. So if you picked one of the correct answers, absolutely give yourself the point for that one. We'll sort that out for next week, I'm sure. We'd just like to take this opportunity to thank you all for joining us at the series of webinars for National Payroll Week 2025. It is celebrating the people that pay the nation, so our unsung heroes, our payroll professionals. Obviously, businesses couldn't really function without you. So give yourselves a pat on the back and enjoy your week. With that said, though, We'd like to just remind you that you will be invited to complete a survey when you exit the webinar today. We'd love to know what you thought of our sessions this week and any suggestions that you might have for future webinars. We'll be adding further webinars in September and October to our timetable soon, so keep an eye on sage.co.uk/webinars for details of what's coming up. We will also send you a follow-up email, which includes a link to the recording of the quiz today if you want to sit through it again, and also the link to our online hub so you can check out what else is coming up. So with that said, we're going to say goodbye. Thanks once again for joining us this week. Enjoy your weekends, and we hope to see you on some of our other webinars in the near future. But it is goodbye for now.